So we've just done a quick wardrobe change here, and I want to do a couple of different things. I want to come in and get a tighter headshot on this one because I want to try and make a feature of this PVC collar that we have here. And so that means I'm just going to come in and really just try and focus in on here, and that means we're going to have to think about how we're going to adjust the light painting and play with it like that. Okay, so let's turn these modeling lights off now because we don't want that to affect the long exposure of the image. So I'm just going to double check we have our good image to begin with before we start bringing in the light painting. Okay. We're looking good exposure-wise on all those lights, background light, hair light, fill light, key light, perfect. Okay. And just want to see the space that we've got before we move on to the long exposure. Can I just have you turning a little bit to the side like this side? That's it. Okay. That's cool. The other reason I'm going to the side like this as well is, again, because I have that hair light on. If I was going for a head-on straight portrait, so looking straight to camera, I would be concerned about the lack of symmetry with not having two hair lights. So because I've only got one on at the moment, I'm going to build that into the look by having her look the opposite direction. Just want to see where that light's falling. Okay, we've got to be conscious of a big catch light there. That's just something that we're going to have to deal with. That's not a problem. So first and foremost, obviously we're going to turn the lights down in a second, but before we do that, I need to adjust my shutter speed because we're still on the 125th just to make sure we had an image there with the flash. So let's turn the shutter speed down to, let's go back to our 6-second mark and see what we get with that. Okay, lights off. Lights up. Just looking at this then, I like this. I think because we can't adjust the exposure of our torch or our flashlight, what we need to do is maybe go U slower and see if we can get more of this. But I'm loving this effect that we're getting here with this sort of ghosting, almost like material moving behind. Loving that, and it matches the collar piece really well. So let's do that again. This time, what you're doing is great. Perfect, and we just maybe go a touch slower, see if we can get just a bit more burn in on that. Okay. Lights off. Lights on. Okay, I'm going to give you a few more seconds because you're going slower. I'm going to need to give you just a touch more time to get in there so that we can get maybe some extra bits up there as well. Yeah. So let's crank this up to 10 seconds. We know from before that that's really as much as we can get away with. Lights off. Chin up for me a little bit. That's it. Lights on. Okay, I'm just going to have a go in a second if you don't mind. I'm just going to see what we can get. I just want to see what sort of speeds make a difference and come in there. So maybe if I come round. Can I see what that's? Is that going through her face in the frame there?
No.
So that's underneath her chin, yeah? Okay. It's coming around like that. Okay. Lights off.
Okay.
Lights on. Liking it. All right. So we can see here, actually, just on this shot, I'll just mention it, like this blurring is not the light coming onto the face. It's actually just a little bit of movement over 10 seconds from the model, which is like that can't be helped. You can't expect not to get that. But otherwise, I think we've got some pretty cool shapes. Let's take a couple more like that. Lights off.
All right.
Lights on. So I'm starting to get a sense of using this now that with the speed that I'm adjusting it, if I wanted to have just a tiny bit more light in a certain area, I slow it down a little bit. So in some of these shots, I can see that if I want just a bit more here, I'm going faster, then I'm slowing down around here, which is giving me more exposure. We can't adjust the exposure with this. The only way we can adjust the brightness of it is via slowing it down and speeding it up. Okay, so I'm liking that. Let's get a couple more and then I think we can move on then. Perfect. Okay, so you carry on shooting and I'll just keep doing this. Lights off.
Perfect.
Lights on. Okay, I'm actually really happy with that. So I'm confident that we have something there. I really love that effect. It looks like just ribbons. It's so cool. Okay, now that we're happy with this one, it's going to move on and maybe bring in some more colors and see if we can get some more variation with different color gels and maybe even some different colored lighting tools as well.